Hey everyone, today we are going to solve the Daily LeetCode challenge of 22nd January 2024 and the problem statement is set mismatch. So let's first understand the problem statement. So according to the problem statement, we have been given an integer array nums such that the integers are from 1 to n, where n represents the length of the array. Okay, and according to the problem statement, one of the integers in this range of 1 to n is duplicate and one of the integer is missing. Now what we have to do is we have to find this duplicate and this missing integer. So let's see the given example. So in this given example, the length of the array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means that the numbers should be from 1 to 6. That is, it should contain a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So let's see, is 1 present in nums? Yes, 1 is present in nums. Is 2 present in nums? Yes, 2 is also present in nums. Is 3 present in nums? Yes, 3 is also present. Is 4 present? Yes, it is also present. Is 5 present? So 5 is not present in nums. So here we have the missing number as 5. Is 6 present? Yes, 6 is also present. Additionally, you can notice that 4 is occurring twice in nums, right? So it means it is the duplicate element in this example. So it is for sure that one number is always missing and there is only one number which is duplicated. Okay, so in this case, you can see that 5 is the missing number and 4 is the number which is occurring twice. So let's see how we can solve this problem. So we can create a vector. Let's say this is the vector which will store the frequency of all the numbers in the range 1 to n. Now, what would be the length of this vector? The length of this vector would be nothing but the length of nums plus 1. Why? Because in this case, the length of num is 6, right? Let's index these. Now, what we will do is, let's say this array is frequency array. So we will store the frequency of all the numbers starting from 1 to 6, right? Because the integers in the nums array is in the range of 1 to n. And we will populate their frequencies. So let's iterate over nums. So initially all the frequencies would be 0. So we will start from this 1. So since we have got a 1, we will increment its frequency. So it would become 1. Now our pointer will move forward. Now we have got a 2. So we will increment its frequency. Now we'll move forward. We have got a 3. We will increment its frequency. We'll move forward. We have got a 4. We will increment its frequency. We'll move forward. Again, we have got a 4. So we will increment its frequency to 2. Again, we'll move forward. We have got a 6. We will increment its frequency. Again, we'll move forward. Now that we have completely exhausted the nums array, we don't have any integer remaining. So we have completely populated the frequency array. Now what we have to do is we will traverse over this frequency array starting from 1 to the 6, right? And we will check that the element that has a frequency of 0, it means that it is a missing element, means it's not occurring in the array, right? And if an element has a frequency of 2, it means it's the duplicate element, right? So what we will do, initially we will start from this index 1. So we will see that its frequency is 1, we'll simply move forward. We'll see the frequency of 2 is also 1, we'll simply move forward. The frequency of 3 is also 1, we'll simply move forward. Here we'll see that the frequency of index 4 is 2. So what we'll do, we will populate our duplicate variable. We'll take a variable as duplicate and we'll set its value to 4. The element 4 is having a frequency of 2. Therefore, we will set duplicate as 4. Then again, we'll move forward. Now we'll see that the frequency of 5 is 0. It means it's the missing element. So we'll populate the missing variable as 5. And again, we'll move forward and completely exhausted the frequency array. So we'll simply return a vector containing 4 and 5. So this is the approach which we will be following. Now let's quickly code this. So let's take two variables as duplicate. Initially it would be -1 and the another variable would be missing and initially it would also be -1. And we'll create a vector that will keep track of the frequency of all of the elements and its size would be the size of the nums array plus 1 and initially all the elements would be 0. Okay. Now what we'll do is we will traverse over this nums array. We'll traverse over this nums array and we'll populate the frequency of each of the element. So we'll say for int index equals to 0, index less than nums of size, index plus plus. What we'll do, we will say frequency of nums of index incremented, right? And once we have populated this frequency vector, what we will do, we will traverse over this frequency vector. So we will say that for index equals to 0, sorry, we'll start iterating from the first index. Why? Because the elements are from the range of 1 to n, right? So there is no sense of traversing from the 0th index, because it's for sure that 0th value would never be present in our array, right? So we will start iterating from the 1th index. Index less than nums not size. It should be less than equal to. And what we will do is we will say index plus plus. Fine. Now what we will do is we'll check if the frequency is 0, it means it is the missing element, right? So we will set missing as index. Else if the frequency is equals to 2, it means it's the duplicate value. So we will set duplicate as index. Otherwise, we'll simply move forward, right? And what we'll do, we will return a vector which will contain. So here you can see that the vector contains the duplicate value followed by the missing value. The first value would be duplicate and the second value would be missing, right? So let's run this. It's giving us the correct answer. Let's submit it. So it got accepted. Talking about the time complexity and space complexity. So the time complexity is order of n, where n is the size of the given array. Why? Because here you can see that at line number 9, we are iterating over the complete nums array for populating the frequency vector, which is costing us a time complexity of order of n, right? Additionally, would be a big O. Additionally, here again, we are iterating over the entire frequency array to check which is the duplicate element and which is the missing value, right? And it will again cost us order of n time complexity. Talking about the space complexity, it is also order of n. Why? Because here you can see that we are using a frequency vector for storing the frequency of each of the element, right? So that's all about today's daily LeetCode challenge. Thank you.